Today's writing question is, some believe that economic prosperity is the foundation of human well-being, while others argue that beyond a basic level of comfort, wealth contributes little to genuine happiness. Discuss both views and give your own opinion. Here's a Band 9 model essay on this topic. If you are new here, subscribe now. This channel will help you improve your IELTS band score. Although material living standards have risen sharply across much of the world, a striking paradox has emerged. Growing affluence has not produced a corresponding rise in subjective well-being, while financial security undeniably provides a foundation upon which a fulfilling life can be built. It is the quality of human relationships, personal autonomy, and a sense of purpose that ultimately determine whether individuals experience genuine contentment. Those who contend that prosperity is central to happiness point to the tangible freedoms that financial means can provide. Having escaped the persistent anxiety of poverty, individuals gain access to nutritious food, adequate health care, and secure shelter, conditions without which emotional stability is difficult to sustain. It is the relief from chronic scarcity, rather than luxury itself, that appears to generate the most meaningful improvements in life satisfaction. In societies where basic needs remain unmet, even modest economic gains tend to produce dramatic improvements in reported well-being, suggesting that material progress does matter, at least up to a certain threshold. Beyond that threshold, however, the relationship between wealth and happiness becomes considerably more tenuous. Seldom do people in the most affluent societies report proportionally greater satisfaction than those in moderately comfortable ones, a pattern that reflects the diminishing returns of wealth. As consumption increases, so too do social comparisons, with individuals measuring their circumstances not against absolute standards, but against the perceived success of those around them. This relentless benchmarking erodes the satisfaction that material gains initially provide, leaving many in prosperous nations in a state of restless dissatisfaction despite their objective comfort. The deterioration of community bonds, the replacement of leisure with overwork, and the commodification of experiences previously rooted in genuine human connection compound this effect further. In my view, economic advancement is a necessary precondition for basic human flourishing, but the pursuit of ever greater prosperity beyond a point of sufficiency offers diminishing returns. Lasting happiness rests less on the accumulation of wealth than on the cultivation of meaningful relationships, purposeful engagement, and the freedom to live in accordance with one's own values. Now let us break down why this essay performs at Band 9 across all 4 marking criteria. Paragraph analysis. Introduction. The introduction does 2 things with precision. The first sentence establishes the central tension through a concrete paradox: affluence rising without a matching rise in well-being. This immediately signals to the examiner that the writer understands the nuance of the question rather than restating it. The second sentence delivers a clear, direct thesis that positions the writer firmly without being simplistic. Notice that it acknowledges financial security as a foundation while asserting that deeper factors ultimately determine contentment. In a discuss both views and give your opinion question, your introduction must signal that you understand both sides and that you have a definite position. This one does exactly that. Body paragraph 1. This paragraph represents the first view fairly and fully. It opens with a topic sentence that names the argument and immediately follows with the logical support. Escape from poverty unlocks access to food, healthcare, and shelter. The paragraph then sharpens this point with a crucial distinction that it is relief from scarcity, not luxury, that drives the largest gains in well-being. This distinction is what separates a Band 6 paragraph from a Band 9 one. The paragraph closes with evidence at the societal level. noting that modest gains in low-income societies produce dramatic improvements in reported well-being. Every sentence extends the previous one. There is no repetition, no padding, and no vague generalizations. Body paragraph 2. This paragraph builds directly on the first by introducing the threshold concept at the very first word of the sentence, beyond that threshold. This is a master class in cohesion. The second body paragraph begins exactly where the first one ended. The paragraph then develops three interlocking mechanisms. First, diminishing returns in affluent societies. Second, the social comparison effect, where people measure themselves not against objective standards, but against those around them. Third, the structural consequences of wealth seeking, including the erosion of community, the replacement of leisure with overwork, and the commodification of connection. These 3 points are not a list. They build on each other causally and logically. The final sentence synthesizes all three into a single image of restless dissatisfaction, which is a strong paragraph ending move. Opinion paragraph. The opinion paragraph is concise and direct. It accepts the premise of paragraph 1 that basic economic advancement matters, while endorsing the argument of paragraph 2 that chasing wealth beyond sufficiency produces diminishing returns. The closing sentence states the writer's positive vision of what happiness actually requires: relationships, purpose, and autonomy. This is not a summary of the body paragraphs. It is a direct, confident expression of the writer's own position. That distinction matters for task achievement. The conclusion does not introduce new ideas. It crystallizes the essay's logic in 2 sentences and closes on a forward-looking image. Examiners reward conclusions that feel final and purposeful, not conclusions that simply list everything already said. If this is already clearer than what you have been writing, hit the like button. It helps me grow the channel and produce better videos for you. Lexical resource. The vocabulary in this essay is chosen for precision, not decoration. Let us look at a few examples. Subjective well-being is used instead of happiness in the introduction because it is the precise academic term for how people personally evaluate their own lives. Using it signals conceptual clarity. Chronic scarcity in the first body paragraph is far more precise than simply writing poverty. Scarcity refers to the condition of not having enough. Chronic emphasizes that it is persistent and ongoing, not temporary. Relentless benchmarking in the second body paragraph captures the compulsive, never-ending nature of social comparison. The word relentless conveys psychological exhaustion in a way that constant comparison does not. Commodification is a sophisticated noun that means the process of treating something as a commercial product. Using it here implies that experiences once rooted in genuine human connection have been turned into things to be bought and sold, which is a powerful, critical idea expressed in a single word. Point of sufficiency is an elegant phrase that avoids repeating threshold and adds a moral dimension. It is not just any threshold, it is the point at which one has enough. That subtle connotation matters. In every case, the vocabulary earns its place by adding meaning. Nothing has been chosen simply to sound impressive. Grammatical range and accuracy. Structure 1, inverted sentence for emphasis. Seldom do people in the most affluent societies report proportionally greater satisfaction than those in moderately comfortable ones. When a negative or restrictive adverb such as seldom is placed at the front of a sentence, the subject and auxiliary verb invert. This is a sophisticated structural choice that simultaneously creates emphasis and demonstrates grammatical range. It is not a trick. It is used here because the inversion reinforces the surprise and counterintuitive nature of the claim. Structure 2, correlative comparative construction. As consumption increases, so too do social comparisons. This as, so too structure links 2 rising trends in a single elegant sentence. Both clauses use present tense and parallel syntax, which creates a sense of inevitability. This is far more sophisticated than writing, "When consumption increases, social comparisons also increase." Structure 3. Non-defining relative clause. Even modest economic gains tend to produce dramatic improvements in reported well-being, suggesting that material progress does matter, at least up to a certain threshold. The participial phrase, "suggesting that material progress does matter," acts as a non-defining post-modifier on the entire preceding clause. It adds an interpretive comment without requiring a new sentence. This is how expert writers build density and economy into their prose. Structure 4. Fronted adverbial clause. Having escaped the persistent anxiety of poverty, individuals gain access to nutritious food, adequate health care, and secure shelter. The participial phrase, "having escaped the persistent anxiety of poverty," is fronted before the main clause. This compresses what might otherwise require an entire sentence into a phrase, and it creates a logical before and after structure that is immediately clear to the reader. Structure 5. Concessive clause. While financial security undeniably provides a foundation upon which a fulfilling life can be built, it is the quality of human relationships, personal autonomy, and a sense of purpose that ultimately determine whether individuals experience genuine contentment. The while clause acknowledges the opposing view before the main clause delivers the writer's position. This single sentence does the work of an entire concession and response in academic writing. Structure 6. Cleft sentence for emphasis. It is the relief from chronic scarcity rather than luxury itself that appears to generate the most meaningful improvements in life satisfaction. The "it is that" cleft structure isolates and emphasizes a specific element of the clause. Here, it places the emphasis on relief from scarcity, not on luxury, which is precisely the distinction the writer wants the reader to notice. Cleft sentences are a hallmark of confident, controlled academic writing. What makes this essay Band 9? Task achievement. The essay presents both views fairly, develops each one logically, and states a clear personal opinion that synthesizes the two without simply repeating them. Coherence and cohesion. Each paragraph flows from the previous one. Each sentence extends the previous thought, and cohesive devices such as "beyond that threshold" and "so too" are used accurately and naturally. Lexical resource. Every advanced word earns its place through precision. There is no vocabulary inflation. Grammatical range and accuracy. 6 distinct high-level structures appear in the essay, all used correctly and all serving the meaning rather than being inserted as decoration. That is your Band 9 breakdown for today. Study the structure, borrow the vocabulary, and practice the grammar patterns. See you in the next one.